we have Grace here. I mean, I just love you so much. We were working together before, so today we're gonna talk more like in-depth conversation.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
So as a public figure, you're probably facing a lot of praise and criticism at the same time, right? So are a lot of girls, because I realized one thing is you can be perfectly fine and perfectly happy on a daily basis with maybe 100 people praise you, but it only takes one person to criticize you to ruin your day. So how do you cope with that?
I think, first of all, I'm someone who takes criticism quite personally. And
Me too.
for me, of course, this is always something that I struggle with. And I wish I was someone who just looked at this and went, it doesn't matter.
Turn it on and off, just like that.
I mean, I don't know you. I hear a lot of people giving me advice on how to not care so much.
Yeah.
But I do think there's also something nice about caring sometimes, because sometimes that can be constructive, and it can be something that can help you. Say with when I was in my acting career, and some advice about how to speak in front of a camera, things like that. But on the other hand, like you said, we shouldn't be so caught up in that one criticism.
Yeah, I know.
And I think what it helps me, honestly, is if I need to kind of process it myself or talk to someone about it. I think there's no shame in admitting that it affects you, because when you vocalize it, it actually helps you to think, hey, it actually doesn't affect me as much as I thought it would.
You kind of just let it off a little bit.
Or I talk to like-minded people who will be like, oh, I'm the same way, like you and I, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
We'll laugh about it,
and
then I think it'll just pass. And I think if something really bothers you so much, there's also no fear in just really maybe commenting and saying back to that person, like, hey, I don't think that this was something that was very nice to say, and I hope that you respect me enough to not say these things on, say, a social media platform.
Yeah, exactly.
If it happens personally with a friend, even more so, you should really be talking about it with that person and just letting them know how that makes you feel. I feel like that's how I teach my children too.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome. So what do you think is self-love? When we talk about speaking of, being honest to yourself, being acceptance to all the criticism that you're facing, what do you think is self-love? Like, what does it mean to you?
It's so funny because I feel like self-love, this term is so commercialized.
It's so commercialized. People are getting fake, jaded.
They're using it to brand as sort of like, okay, let's go have a spa day. Let's go eat something and make ourselves feel better. But for me, I'm always reminded by my friends to have more self-love, because after having children, I feel like my focus is always on them and how to make them happy and how to give them a really nice childhood so that they grow up and go, wow, my parents did a great job. But sometimes my friends say, like, you need to step back and you need to appreciate what you've already given. You need to appreciate the things that you've tried to give to them. And even if it doesn't work out, you've done that.
Intention that counts.
Right. And I feel like once you've done that, then you can also focus on yourself. And it's kind of cliche to say, but people say when you take care of yourself, this is how you can fully take care of others as well.
Yeah, I agree.
And for me, it's something simple. It could be just being at home and reading a book and just
drink a little bit.
Have a drink. You know what? As a mother, I appreciate drinking more now than I did when I was like 18 years old.
Oh my God, I can imagine.
Because now it feels like I have this responsibility and I know this, but I'm also giving myself time to say, this can be someone else's responsibility for 3 hours while mommy goes and has a drink with her friends.
Mommy needs a break.
And I have done that.
Happy hour.
You're right. You know what? Like, I don't feel super guilty when I do that.
You don't, right?
I don't.
Okay, that's good.
I was just telling Michelle that
thing.
when I travel, that's when I go out with my friends. Because in Hong Kong, I feel like, okay, there's a lot of eyes on me, people might judge. When I go out, my friends are like, well, you're here anyway. Like, I literally had a friend.
Were you turned into a different personality when you were traveling?
I always say I'm 22-year-old Grace, because that was right before I started my career. And that was when I was carefree and I didn't think about so many things and people didn't affect me so much. So when I'm out there, I'm 22-year-old Grace, I'm having my drinks, I'm dancing poorly, but I'm dancing, having a good time.
22-year-old Grace must be very attractive.
Even probably when I'm 62, I'll be 22-year-old Grace.
Yeah, I know, right? I know, right? Very interesting. So how do you coexist with your own insecurity? Like when we talk about insecurity, like, we all have that, to be honest. We all have flaws, which make us perfect. I think the imperfection makes us perfect.
Of course.
So when it comes to insecurity, like, how do you coexist with it?
I think first of all, on like in totally appearance level, I have a lot of insecurities because when I first entered the industry, it was always about, you don't look Chinese, you look like another ethnic race, your parents probably adopted you, you didn't know, your face is too long, your skin is too dark, you're too skinny. But I mean, 你個比例, right? You're tall. So for me, there's so many things that make me feel like I'm just not pretty enough, not good enough.
Yeah.
And I think over the years, it's made me realize, hey, when you go out on the street and anywhere, don't say, not even Hong Kong, just anywhere, everyone looks different. And everyone has a uniqueness.
Yeah.
And I feel like if we were all cookie cutter, the same mold, and we all look the same,
that would be very boring.
Yes, not only just boring, it would just make everything just feel very flat.
Yeah.
So I try to embrace this and go like, yes, I might not be your ideal look, but I'm me, and and I'm religious.
Unique.
God created me to look this way. I'm not gonna alter too much, hopefully. Touch wood. I never say never. But I want to keep how I look, and I want people to see me and go, hey, that's great. That's exactly who she is. And that's beautiful in that sense.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So you mentioned about social media. Social media is so blooming right now.
Right.
And every day we see pretty girls, we see perfect body, we see amazing features, and some of them are, overly photoshopped, but it doesn't matter. When we take a look at that, we just feel bad about ourselves because there are a lot of girls out there. They'll be like having anxiety about body shape, like, oh shit, I just gained weight, and then have anxiety about their appearance. What is the message that you want to send them, like, to get over that kind of insecurity?
For me, I used to have a sense of insecurity when I pit myself against other people. Not in a sense to be competitive, but to be like, why am I not looking the way that they look? But actually, instead of just saying what we can do, I can give you like action what I did, which is just women supporting women. You'll be so surprised how good you feel typing that message. Look at that one profile that you're always, envious of or jealous of.
I have a lot.
And go there and go down, like a picture and say, you look amazing. You look so good. I wish I looked like that, or I really appreciate that you look like this. And you know what? Your feedback from them is obviously going to be, thank you so much. And you're going to feel so good that
feel amazing.
Not only did you overcome that envy, but you were able to appreciate it.
Yeah.
And make that person feel good, and you're going to feel so much better. So,
wow, that's an amazing point of view.
I don't know why, but when I do that, I just feel, wow, like I've accomplished something that I didn't think I would be able to do. Because if I looked at it and said, I'm not going to like this post, I'm going to ignore this post, but because of that envy, you're not going to get anywhere.
You're going to hold it grudges.
And they're not going to know that, right?
Yeah, they're not going to know.
So try that. I'm always saying, like, it hurts me the most when I see women, like, disapproving other women, because I think everyone is so beautiful, and appreciating that, letting them know. Maybe they're the ones who feel insecure. Maybe that's why they post what they post, so that they can feel better. So appreciate that and say, you look great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I do agree with that. Like, how they react and how their behavior is kind of like a reflection of how they feel on the inside. 相由心生, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a happy person on the inside, if you're like positive on the inside, people can feel the vibe from you.
And maybe they'll comment back and be like, I wish I looked like you.
Yeah,
You look great.
Yeah, I know. That is so positive.
Yeah.
So, okay, there's a question. When do you feel most confident? Beautiful, sexy, like whatever that is. Like, just most confident.
The typical answer at this age, I feel like, would be like, oh, when I'm wearing my pajamas with no makeup. I do not feel confident when I'm like that. That's when I'm just chilling and I'm like, nobody needs to come into my home right now. And then you'll have the courier come in, I'll be like, oh, just grab my bag. Actually, I feel the most confident when I'm dressed up, when I feel like I've put in an effort in how I look. I don't think there's anything wrong with women feeling good because they've made an effort on themselves. I remember seeing this one post about this girl who goes, people are criticizing that I wear too much makeup and that, you wouldn't look the same without makeup. And she was like, if I'm paying thousands of dollars for my makeup, I should look better with my makeup than without my makeup.
Exactly.
And I was like, that is so
true.
If we're going to be using this kind of resources on ourselves, of course we want to look better,
Yeah, exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with putting on a nice dress or putting on nice jeans that wrap it all up, going out, seeing people, and,
getting compliments.
Yeah, having your girlfriends or guy friends just saying, hey, you look great today. My son, when he compliments me, he's so genuine. He'll look at me and be like, wow, mommy, you look so so pretty today.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, don't I look pretty every day? And he's like, no, but you look good now. And I'm like, that's what matters, you know?
Oh, wow, that's very genuine.
I feel
that
very
must
confident
make your day.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay,
Yeah.
speaking of style, how do you describe your style in clothing?
I'm a chameleon. If you look at my Instagram, which is really how I am in daily life, I'm like never wearing the same style. You know, sometimes I'll be in something very dressy, sometimes it'll be very sexy, sometimes it'll be very casual or sporty. I feel like I don't really want to pigeonhole myself into one style because being in my industry means that you can really explore and be adventurous with your style, you know, and you get so many opportunities to wear different things. And I love that. You know, I said I'm very insecure about my size, but I think one thing that I embrace in my size is that I can try everything on, you know?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
so simple size, you can try it on.
So I really like that. I love being able to experiment. I haven't found one thing that I'm like, this is me forever.
This is it, right?
Yeah, and I love being able to surprise people too. My friend, my guy friend has told me, every time I see you, you look different. You're like a movie character.
Oh, wow.
And it was the best compliment ever.
I know.
Coming from a guy,
Yeah,
you know? It wasn't
I
like,
know.
you're so hot, you're so beautiful. No, it's just like, every time I see you, it's like you're walking out of a movie scene and you're just in a different role. And I thought that was the coolest thing to say.
That will make my life.
That was a really cool compliment.
Okay, so do you have any hero items like in your closet? Like
that I
just,
must
like,
have, right?
You must have. Like, I just love it.
I always have dress shirts because I think dress shirts are great not just to wear and kind of look semi-formal, but you can also button it out and then you can wear it as a jacket. So it's kind of like if I want to go out but I don't want to wear like a big jacket, then I have it on. So I think always have a simple dress shirt, a white one or a light blue one. And other than that, probably just good shoes. Because I have to kind of run around or drive or be with my kids.
Very active.
I like platform shoes just because I'm not super tall. And people always like comment like, oh, why don't you just wear flats or wear sneakers? And I'm like, you guys have your height, you know, this gives me that boost and I actually walk better in heels, so I'll be in my heels.
Okay, so what about like in wintertime and springtime? Like, are you that type of person that really into like sweaters and you know, cashmere?
Absolutely.
Something like that.
For me, I think cashmere gives me that sense of comfort because it's soft, it's comfortable, but it can also be very stylish. And I love winter clothing because you can layer and you can style yourself.
I love that.
In the summer, you just want to take it all off, you know?
I know. Especially in Hong Kong.
Exactly. So because I grew up in Canada, which is a very cold place. So for me, I love winter clothing. I love dressing up. I love putting on different colors in the winter because it's dark and dreary, so you can really wear more. But other than that, I think for me, cashmere is something that I've always really loved and really appreciated.
Yeah, and with like high quality, you can dress up and dress down to fit into different occasions.
Or even in the summer, you can wear like a cashmere tee or a
like
tank.
cardigan.
But you can wear like jeans, you know? You can kind of mix and match it up as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
Grace.
much, Michelle. Thanks, everyone. Hey guys, this is Grace Chen. Discover your Cashmere voice.